Chapter 19, Tenses. Read the following sentences. She sings a song. They play hockey. They swam in the river. We bought fruit and vegetables. I shall go to Chennai. He will meet me tomorrow. In Group A, the verbs sings and play tell us that the action is taking place in the present time. These verbs belong to the present tense. In Group B, the verbs swam and bought tell us that the action has already taken place in the past time. These verbs belong to the past tense. In Group C, the verbs shall go and will meet tell us that the action will happen in the future time. These verbs belong to the future tense. Always remember, there are three tenses: the present tense, the past tense, the future tense. Verbs have different forms in different tenses. The simple tense. Read the following sentences. He writes a letter. He wrote a letter. He will write a letter. In the first sentence, the verb writes tells us that an action is taking place in the present time. Such a verb belongs to the present simple tense. In the second sentence, the verb wrote tells us that an action has already taken place in the past time. Such a verb belongs to the simple past tense. In the third sentence, the verb will write tells us that an action will happen in the future time. Such a verb belongs to the future simple tense. The continuous tense. Read the following sentences. Sarita is reading the newspaper. Sarita was reading the newspaper. Sarita will be reading the newspaper. In the first sentence, the verb is reading tells us that an action is continuously going on in the present time. Such a verb belongs to the present continuous tense. In the second sentence, the verb was reading tells us that an action was continuously going on in the past time. Such a verb belongs to the past continuous tense. In the third sentence, the verb will be reading tells us that an action will be continuously going on in the future time. Such a verb belongs to the future continuous tense. The perfect tense. Read the following sentences. He has eaten his lunch. He had eaten his lunch. He will have eaten his lunch. In the first sentence, the verb has eaten tells us that an action has been completed in the present time. Such a verb belongs to the present perfect tense. In the second sentence, the verb had eaten tells us that an action had been completed in the past time. Such a verb belongs to the past perfect tense. In the third sentence, the verb will have eaten tells us that an action will be completed in the future time. Such a verb belongs to the future perfect tense. The following table shows the correct forms of verbs in these three tenses: tense, simple, continuous, perfect. Present, he writes, he is writing, he has written. Past, he wrote, he was writing, he had written. Future, he will write, he will be writing, he will have written.